Yes, we're live. Thank you. Okay, this is my first live. Hey Karen, nice to see you on. Josh, thank you for joining me. Listen, I'm trying to do my first live today, and I want to continue doing lives because it just connects me better, and I want everybody to at least see the authentic me going as we're going. Today, I want to invite all the women into the conversation, and I want to talk about why I am a contrarian investor right now. And I want to let you know this is my first live. So I actually have notes behind me so that I can stay on point. And I want to talk about what it is and why I am a contrarian investor. I do not like the markets. I think the markets are dangerous, and I think they don't actually help people. And I want to be able to say, I don't know how long I have that I can do this live for. So I'm going to speak fast and I want to speak consistently. But I want to talk about why I am a contrarian investor and why I think the markets are dangerous right now. And the first thing is, I want to share with you that I've spent 10 years as a financial analyst for Citigroup back in the day, had all the licenses, the 6 to 63 to 26. I could sell the products, I could hire people, build groups and teams. But what I did mostly was analyze contracts over and over and over again, housing, mortgage, investment, etc. And what I found out over a period of time, I was like, okay, I'm out. So I want to let you know that the experience for me is that there are two types of investors. There are people who are centralized investors, which means they use all the market and everything else. And there are decentralized investors. And I'm not talking about gold or Bitcoin. I'm talking about the type of investing. Everybody wants you to be over here because they make money off your money. And so, what I don't like is I don't trust the paper promises anymore. I trust control of my money, control of my assets. And if I don't have control of the assets, the rules, or the exit plan, I don't own the outcome. And most people who invest, they invest passively. That means they let somebody else rule their money and rule what's happening. And I invest actively. I have stewardship over what assets I develop. So here's the biggest point that I want to share with you today. I think it's super important. This is the real truth. There are only two ways to create wealth, only two, and that's it. You either build assets or you buy assets, and that's it. So if you build a house, and you buy a house, you have an asset. One you built, one you bought. That's it. Those are the only two ways. And we have been told that it is better for us to buy assets than to learn how to build them and have stewardship over them. And I don't agree with that. I don't like being priced by other people's emotions. And that's what the market does. When you get into the market runs on sentiment. It runs on headlines and crowd behavior. And I prefer value that I can manage, that I can build, that I have stewardship over. Because right now, I mean, the tariffs, remember when he introduced the tariffs, the market crashed. And then when he moved the tariffs, the president moved it once, boom, the market went up, it went down, it went up, it went down. It's too crazy for me. I like to have some discernment about what is happening with my money. And I don't want emotions of other people to take the trend up or down. So that's another reason I don't like the market. I want cash flow veins. I want cash flow veins that I can steer. So I want to tell you the difference between cash flow and a cash flow vein. Cash flow is something you can build, and your business, it can have cash flow. You get customers in, they're buying stuff, that's cash flow. Cash flow vein is something that you don't have to keep marketing for. It's like a rental property. The rent comes in every single month. That's a cash flow vein. Or a grocery store. Let's say you own a grocery store. If you own the grocery store, then what happens? People just come in and buy, 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 buy. People need groceries all the time. I invest as a contrarian investor in the cash flow vein. I don't invest in the cash flow, and there's a big difference between the two. And so, index funds that are slowly growing and right now they're hot, they don't pay your bills on schedule or on time. Real assets, real cash flow veins, real cash flow veins. See what happens when you go live? Real cash flow veins in businesses let you create your income streams, your income flow, and you can adjust them fast. You can adjust them when you need to. And it's a bit more control. So having stewardship over your wealth for me is more important than having somebody else direct my wealth. So, in order to say this, I don't like hidden counterparty risk. Everybody gets so proud of themselves. They're so proud when they invest. They're like, I have a broker, an analyst, a planner, an advisor, a custodian, a bank, a regulator, and that everything that you have, all these people want fees for that. Some people 5, 10, 20,000, $30,000 in fees in year all year to manage your money. That's their business. They want your money so they can get fees because that's how they make money. So to me, I'm like, do you know how much more money you could have if you just know how to manage your own money and have stewardship over it yourself? There's so much money lost, and people don't understand the contract and the market is made to vacuum money out of you, vacuum it all out. So I want to give you a true story. I worked with a client and she had built a staffing company. And this staffing company, she sold it, her and her partner sold it for 25, 24 million, and they both walked away with about 12 million. So she buys a new home with about 12 acres of land, and then she put the money in an annuity. And it was paying her about $20,000 a month or something like that. But when she died, she wanted the rest of it to go to her kids. So she gave me the contract and it was a big company. I don't even want to name it, but it has an A at the beginning. So, and it likes to express himself. But anyway, the company that wrote the contract didn't write it so her children got the leftover money. It was that they got the leftover money and her heirs got nothing. And when I looked at the contract, she signed it. It was already done. So all of that work, all of that money in the contract, the thing is siphoned. And I know some of you are saying, she should have got a lawyer and had that lawyer look over it. And maybe that's true. But I look at it right now and people get so proud and they're so happy. They think they're taking a step up or they're leveling up when they have all of these regulators help them. And what happens is you just lose your money a lot of the time based in the contract. I've had fees vacuumed out. And by the way, those college funds that you guys save for your kids? When it's time to go ahead and give your kids the money, I want you to look at how much complication there is for you to get your money out of those contracts. So they have something, what do they call it? There's a type of signature you need. A medallion signature is what it's called. That's going to be tougher than you think to find out how the medallion signature is. So once your money's in the market, it's not as easy to get it out as you think. There are blocks and people all the way through that, and you don't have access when you want it. If an emergency happens, you're paying a third in penalties in order to access your money. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. As a contrarian investor, it's better to have stewardship over your wealth than a contract over your wealth. And so, what we teach you in The Independent Woman is how to decentralize your wealth and have ownership and absolute stewardship over your wealth so that you control what is happening or what's going on. So, for me, I invest for sovereignty. I teach people how to have sovereign wealth, not entertainment, not looking at markets going up and down. I want stewardship over my wealth. The market investing turns people into indicators. We're constantly looking. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it crash? Should I sell it now? What's happening with my money? It's like people don't sleep at night because they have somebody else running what they should be running. And I know a lot of times when the markets are shaky and people are like, especially women, we're thinking, I can't afford to lose my money. I can't afford to lose my money. I worked hard for that money. I can't afford to lose that money. So if you can't afford to lose that money, don't you think you should oversee it? Don't you think you should oversee your wealth? I mean, that's what this whole purpose is about being an independent woman. It's learning the tips and tricks of how to be, or not tricks, but the tips and tools you need to become a contrarian investor. And so I prefer being the operator of my own wealth. Who sets the terms? I make the contracts, I buy the rights, and I protect my downside in that volatility. And right now, the market is sky high. We have never seen the market be so high. And gold is really high. And now silver is really high. And really, the question you want to ask yourself is why? Why is the market this high? Why is everything looking like it's so hot and sexy and I should invest now? We need to evaluate what's happening. And right now, there are really only 7 companies that are holding up all the index funds. And so, what I want to say to you today is if you want to learn more, please join the Independent Woman Club on School. It's free. It's free to go, and we share all kinds of things that build wealth or have wealth. And I just want to thank everybody for being with me on this. I'm trying to go live because I think going live helps me be faster, more upfront. And I am going to be talking about how to build independent wealth, especially for women. Because right now, the largest portion of the $1 trillion worth of the big reset, to the big money shift, is going to women. So if I know it's coming to women, do you think every banker knows it's coming to women? Do you think that every investment firm knows that women are really going to inherit most of the money? Well, if you pay attention right now, those big marketing firms are targeting everything towards women. Here's the independent woman has these funds, those funds, doing that. If you want to travel, you want a better life, all the ads are going to go towards women because women, especially in the United States, are set to inherit $46 trillion of this new reset. And we can talk about that more later. But what I want you to know is $1 trillion is changing the game. It is actually a shift in power and direction. And the key thing is if you know what to do with your money or what you want to do with your money, then I think you have the ability to make some great wealth for yourself. So for me, this is the difference. I just want to give you the difference. You can buy a gold ETF and you can buy a gold piece. One, you have choice about when you sell it, and you don't have to give anybody fees to sell it. You can move it, walk it, control it, and everything else. An ETF, I'll tell you one of the market things that I saw in my contract, looking at every contract. So I'm not going to name company names because I'm worried about what kickback might be from that. But what happened was somebody invested $10,000 in a gold ETF. And so they got the paperwork and everything else. And imagine how you feel about the thought of, I invested $10,000 today. I'm responsible. I'm making good moves. I have a level head. I'm doing all of these things. But in the contract she had, and I know you're thinking it's all about the contract. Yes. Yes, it is all about the contract. That's how they vacuum the money out. So what happened for her was that the contract ended up saying when you invest $100,000, you can have access to your gold. If you haven't invested $100,000, you have to work at investing $100,000. So somebody controlled now her money, her access to the gold, and the ETF. So I think to myself, why would I get involved with that? And that's when I created my contrarian investment plans for myself. I now teach it to the women that are independent. It's free to join, it's not a big deal. And I want to let you know that I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for I don't know how long this has been. This has been my first live, and I'm enjoying the conversation, and I will have another live conversation soon. All right. Thanks for joining. Bye.